Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Tuesday FishTalk Live. This is episode number 24, April 9th. We are going to be talking about the fish of Lake Victoria. So you guys know how it goes. Go ahead and share this out. You can share this out to your pages, to your personal page, to the groups that you're in. If we get 100 people viewing at one time, we're going to skip this whole selection with hashtags and go straight to the wheel and pick and go for the grand prize, which is a large fish from Ron Demers Cichlid Clubhouse. So go ahead and share that stuff out. Do my shares real quick. Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday Fish Talk Live. Got some chill mellow blues going on. I think both Ron and I, after our long week together and a long weekend, we're kind of feeling chill as ourselves. A lot going on, but we're glad you're here at Tuesday Fish Talk Live, and we're about ready to start. Yeah. How's it going, everyone? Dave Gould here. We're getting ready to start episode number 24. Ron's going to talk a little bit about the fish of Lake Tanganyika. So we're super stoked to have be 25 episodes in. That's 24 weeks. That's a pretty good deal. And we are talking about fish this month. Last week we did Lake Tanganyika. We're doing Lake Victoria. We're going to talk about New World cichlids next week. So if you're just joining us, if this is your first episode of Fish Talk Live, you've never seen it before, let me tell you a little bit what we're about. We are doing a live gamified show for social media. We stream live on multi-stream for Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. You can find these streams by searching for Ron Cichlids or searching for Ron Demers on your favorite streaming platform. One of the cool things is that this is an interactive audience participation show, and we also get promotion through our viewers. So if you have a chance, give us a like and a subscribe. If you're looking for a place to a Facebook group that's pretty cool, it's Ron Cichlids Cichlid Clubhouse, and this show supports that. So a lot of the people that view this show are members, but if you're not, let us know what group you're in and put that in the chat right now. Tell us what group that is, and you can give a shout out, just the name of the group. Our mission is to create a live streaming experience for you, our viewers, and also all the Clubhouse members. And we add new segments and sponsors and prizes every week. We got a bunch of cool stuff going on tonight. Like I said, it's kind of laid back. I just got back from Florida, so I'm feeling real chill. And I'm going to introduce you to my friend and host, Mr. Ron Demers. And I'm sure they can hear Ron. Here you go. Here comes Ron. I'm sure they can hear it in my voice.
Yeah, we are wore out.
Yeah.
Dave and I had some business we wanted to do this weekend, and it turned into just the two of us relaxing, you know, enjoying some downtime, which we may not get very often. So,
yeah, it looks like we're not dropping any frames, so that's good. Cross your fingers, hold that up. I'm seeing Catlin Douglas, Carmen. What's going on, Carmen? Phil, Kevin Shannon, of course, Joshua Gloud, my fellow Alabamian. Although I always say, you know, I'm Californian, been on vacation in Alabama for 4 years. If you have never checked out Alabama, Alabama's a cool place. You come check it out. Who else you seen on there, Ron?
See my boy Barry Hoffman on there, Michael Anderson.
Yeah. Who all's an admin and mod that's viewing and watching right now? We've got about 50 people on.
I've seen Tasha.
Shout it out. No, I'm saying for other people. We're just curious about, you know, the reach and how that's going. We appreciate everybody sharing out. So that's how that works. If we share this group, if everybody shares it in at least one other group, and we get 100 members, we're going to skip the whole hashtag thing and go straight to a grand prize on the spin to win. So let's do that. Share it out. If you haven't given a like on the page, it's a good time to do that. Let me find out where we're at. Go ahead, Ron. You guys will have to bear with me on this one because I've got a lot of eye fatigue and staring at all this different stuff.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to be a little low key tonight. Just both of us are wore out and tired, and we're still going to try to provide the best show we can in our current form.
Yeah. So if I let's see what we can hashtag Dave wake up. Okay. All right. I don't even know what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for my flow chart, Ron. Here it is. Okay. So as everybody knows, this is a show that's brought to you by Mr. Ron Demers, who is the owner-operator of Ron Cichlids, roncichlids.com. So you can find a lot of cool stuff on his website, and you can find that by going to roncichlids.com or shop.roncichlids.com for his shop. If you have turn on the Facebook notifications, that will give you the video every week. Please like and share our pages and all that. I'm going to skip all this stuff. We don't have to do all these shout outs either. We might as well just jump right into it. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So here's what we're talking about today.
Lake Victoria. These are some of the nicest fish there is color-wise. Funky little monkeys.
Yeah, that's an awesome picture there at the end. That's an actual picture of Lake Victoria there at the very, very end. Let me bring Ron with this. There we go. I don't know where I found that. I found it on YouTube somewhere. Some of the content that I reserve, especially when you see the name on there, that comes from a place on YouTube. And if you guys ever want to know where these resources come from, just hit us up on the chat bot. So our chat bot is star info. Hold on just 1 second while I do this. Let's see. I got to click here. This one right here. Undo this. Give me 1 second. Go ahead, Ron. Well, I can't talk and do this at the same time, so
no problem. Once again, want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. We're going to be talking about Lake Victoria. It's the last of the three of the Malawian lakes, African lakes. This is probably one of the most important that we need to talk about, regarding its future. What comes from the lake, options for fish keeping.
Yeah, so that information is available through Star Info. So you can call in. We're only giving away stuff tonight to call-in winners. No, maybe not. We'll see. But we'd love for you to call in and chat with us. And you don't have to have a question, actually. It's always been nice to hear from people and all that. So if you have a question or you want to talk to Ron, we do have a call in, and you'll be seeing that graphic pop up in and out as we go through. So we're going to talk about Lake Victoria. I'm going to do what I did last week, and that is I'm going to pull up Google Earth here, and we're going to just kind of explore Lake Victoria. There's some really interesting facts about Lake Victoria. I can hardly talk. It's crazy. Oh, my God. Yeah. Okay, so here's Africa, right? Let me see, make sure you guys are getting that. You're not getting it yet. So here you go. So here's the east coast of Africa, right? Here's Lake Malawi, is that first lake there, kind of in the middle. Then Tanganyika. And then here's Victoria up here. And there's some interesting facts. Like Lake Tanganyika is like only 135 feet deep, which is a very shallow lake, but it's the second largest lake in Africa. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so it's really shallow. It's hard to switch through all this stuff and talk at the same time. It's part of the Rift Valley Lakes, and it's also part of the source of the White Nile. So what's really cool is the Nile is broken up in two parts. We all know about Egypt, right? We all know about the pharaohs and the Nile there. But up south, where those rivers start, one starts in Burundi, and that's the White Nile. And that from that lake, it drains down into Victoria, continues along the White Nile, and then meets up with the Blue Nile somewhere in the Sudan. And the Blue Nile starts in a different place, and they kind of merge in there. So here's Lake Victoria. One of the cool things I wanted to do, Ron, is check this out. So to give you some perspective on how big this lake is, which is 23,000 square miles, its width is 209 miles and 223 miles wide. But if we go here to Kampala, which is, I'm not sure if it's the capital of Uganda, but it's a large city there. And let's just zoom in for perspective. Here's this city, right? And I'm zooming in. And just for perspective, well, this kind of looks like a lot, right? But actually, these are neighborhoods, man. These are houses right here. So as we go in, you can start seeing these houses come up here and get the kind of depth and how big it is. So there you go. That's kind of an aerial view. But watch when I zoom out now. This will really give you perspective on how big this lake is. So there it is on the corner of the lake. So it's a pretty massive lake. Very cool. Obviously, it's named after the Queen of England in the 1850s, named like Queen Victoria. So I think that's what I have right there, Ron, as far as that goes.
Amazing lake. It's massive. I mean, you hear about, when you talk about African cichlids, you hear about Lake Malawi most of the time. And then, you hear about Lake Tanganyika, but Lake Victoria seems to get left off. It's realistically since, basically mid 80s, people started to learn about the fish of the lake. They're relatively small in comparison to Tanganyika and especially Malawi. So they kind of got left off the map for a while, gained a lot of popularity. And then something we're going to discuss tonight is, what the lake has been through ecosystem wise. It's dried up several times in its history, but it still provides some beautiful little cichlids that are probably the scrappiest of all the species from all the lakes. All right, let's dive into Victorians then. I'm just going to speak off the cuff for a lot of this. I'm not an expert in Victorians. I've kept quite a few, bred quite a few. Something you need to remember with them is they tend to be aggressive, the males. Pound for pound, they're scrappier than Mabuna in my eyes. Whenever someone asks for like a red fish, that's the first one I recommend. People who know me know that I've carried, mostly Pundamilla nyari species over the years because they're just gorgeous. And like I said, pound for pound, you can put a 3-inch Victorian in with a bunch of 7 and 8-inch peacocks and haps, and they won't mess with him. He'll stick up for himself. Very, very prolific breeders. Females will breed as small as 1.5 inches in some cases. The hapachromines are the largest of the species for the lake. Pundamilla is one of them. You have some that are a little smaller than others. There's quite a few groups from the hapachromines. Over the years, they've evolved to be specialized eaters, if that's the right word. They've adapted to the changes of the lake, and some are living today as detrivores. It means they eat dertitis, fish and plant matter that breaks down. Zooplanktivores, insectivores, prawn eaters. There's some that are piscivores, and there's some molluscivores that only feed on mollusks. So they've gotten very specialized. For one lake, it's a very specialized groups of fish of what they eat. In the aquarium habitat, they've adapted to eat, pellets and a lot of foods that we offer for them. But something that happened to Lake Victoria back, I think, around mid 80s, if recollection serves me correctly. The Nile perch made its way into the lake, and for you that don't know what a Nile perch is, it's a big fish with a big mouth that eats other fish. I've seen pictures of them, 250 pounds, from locals. They were introduced for a food source because the lake just didn't have fish large enough to support a food source for the local people. So they were introduced, and they wrecked the ecosystem. They basically wiped out quite a few species of fish in the limited time that they were there. They reached their peak in the mid 90s. They still exist in the lake, but it's kind of like the same story of how the peacock bass was introduced to where I live here in South Florida, and nobody did the math on how many fish this big fish will eat, and slowly but surely they've taken out other fish in the ecosystem. So because of the Nile perch, and other changes to the ecosystem, like sewage runoff and overpopulation around the lake and overfishing, there's an estimated at least 200 species of Victorian haps that have become extinct over time.
It's like 40%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's they really haven't. You never really heard much about Lake Victoria, but that lake is seeing the most extinction. It had a very diverse ecosystem that needed all of these specialized fish in place. And when you removed one of those species of fish in the way that they uh, fed because of the Nile perch or other things, you took out a building block of the lake's health. And because of that, there's parts of the lake that no longer can support fish life. And they also have, with the runoff and the excess amount of nutrients that are flowing into the lake from surrounding villages, you've got an invasion of plant species, water hyacinth, things that are choking out the sunlight to, help algae and plants grow in the lake. So,
yeah, I was reading earlier, Ron, about one of the adaptations that the fish has seen in the last 50 years is the fact that the gills on some fish are getting larger. So that because the oxygen is being deprived from all this nutrient rich and all plant matter at the bottom and all that, that they actually is starting their change in that, progression of what's going on with them. So, the fact that there's so many red, what's the term I'm looking for? Red
flags.
Red. Something about when. Yeah. Anyhow, so the fact that there's so many of them is just crazy. That they think that 90% of the native fish species were haplochromides, and now only 40% of the fish in there are haplochromides. That's a lot of different.
And there's so many species that still aren't discovered that they really don't know how many other species got wiped out by the Nile perch because they never got a chance to document these species, and now they don't even exist. So they also believe there's a percentage of fish that have become extinct before they were even labeled and documented to be a specific species in the first place. But I think it was Jurassic Park movie. The one guy with the glasses said, "Mother Nature finds a way," and that's what I think about here as well. Fish are still making changes to their chemistry, their bodies, to adapt to what Mother Nature has, so to speak, given them right now. It's it's a shame, but there's still a lot of beautiful fish. There are some species from the lake that are only kept in captivity. They no longer exist in their native habitat. In zoos and private breeders and aquarists, and around the lake, there's 3 little lakes that help feed it, and they have their own unique populations of fish as well. And they believe that several times when this lake dried up, some of these fish kind of went to those lakes to wait it out, and then they came back, which is pretty neat.
I was, so one of the things that I was toying with putting the show together is I found a great video, and it talks about some local scientists that are from Uganda and different countries there in Africa. But it's a touchy subject, so I didn't bring it in. I wanted to play the video, but let me tell you about it. It's, they talk about global warming as being one of the issues, and that's such a political hot topic, that some people believe there's no such thing as global warming. So without saying whether there is or there isn't, there is obviously changes that are going on in that lake, whether they're man-made or not. I don't know. I'm not making a judgment on that. But the temperature is increasing, and so they have been scurrying as fast as they can to collect these species that are almost non-existent and put them in farms. And one of the cool things on this video was the guy was saying, he's doing this, and there are acres of ponds, acres and acres and acres of ponds with these fish that they're trying to save. And he was saying that, well, if they all die off in the lake, at least we have some to try to, at some point in the future, do something about it. But, the big part of it is that runoff that you're talking about. So in this video, they talked about how global warming has made it so that they don't have enough water for their crops. So the locals have given up farming and gone to the lake and started overfishing. So it's like this domino effect of what's going on environmentally. It's obviously an environmental crisis for Lake Victoria.
Yeah, they have a lot of fish that are red listed, and I can remember a few years ago, ruby greens got very difficult to find because we knew that they weren't going to be wild caught for a period of time. But there is a lot of captive breeding, luckily, and hopefully that's enough to keep the industry satisfied.
Yeah, I have a few myself. I really love them. They're a great aquarium, as far as just another aspect of the hobby to get into. They're really cool.
Yeah, there's most people that get into them, get a couple species, like a Nairai or a tomato hap or something like that with some vibrant colors, and they put them in with their, one of their other tanks, their peacocks, their haps, their Mabuna, whatever. They can realistically go with anything, and they're little firecrackers. So when you put one of them in there, it's like adding, a couple yellow labs to a larger tank full of fish. They stand out. And these little guys are like that. They stand out. You they're in there.
Yeah.
They don't blend in with everybody else.
Yeah, they have that T on the eye a lot of times. One of the big indicators you see on that.
No, they're really cool species. There's quite a few of them, and a lot of them never see aquarius, or fish tanks, especially the lakes that surround Lake Victoria. Paul Weiser, I know, breeds some specific types that I've never even heard of. They just exist in those lakes that are tiny compared to the main lake.
Yeah. So I've got a picture up here to show some of the diverse varieties, but we can go in and start looking at some pictures. So, today's show, this isn't like a master class. You're not going to get a college degree on Lake Victoria from the show tonight. But what we really wanted to do is to kind of show at one of the areas in which, just more and more people can get an idea and know the difference. Because a lot of times, Ron, and you probably heard this question a lot of times too, is that people just automatically figure some of these are just Malawis, they're peacock.
Yeah.
They say, what peacock is that? I want that one, so.
No, it's, most people don't know they come from Victoria. When people ask me for a fish that's got a lot of red, and I give them an example of one, they're like, where does that come from? They think it's a regular Malawian, and no, they come from their own unique lake.
You want me to go ahead and hit some of these pictures in on this
Sure.
slideshow? I know that one.
That's the Matumbi Hunter, just a beautiful fish. Dave's got one.
So I've got actually two. I've got two, and they don't get too big. They're about 5 inches. And one of them has more colors like this, although I suspect this is a little, like the saturation was turned up or whatnot. But they are really cool, and they're kind of like minnows. It looks like a minnow to me. They're long and thin.
Skinny.
Yeah. So there's a few. Let's see. There's another one in there somewhere. There he is. Yeah. So I would imagine mine don't get that way because there's no females for him to really get his juice. But you can see all those. You can see all those colors in the ones I got. So it's cool. So I don't know which way to go. And keep in mind that, we were just showing you a bunch of really cool pictures, but I messed up. There was a slideshow option for me to have the names in front of it, but the names got corrupted, so you're not going to see the names on there. So we'll do our best to ID all these.
Most of them look the same. You've got SP44s and SP35s. A lot of these, depending on the angle, they look the same, but all these haplochromines have a similar body shape. They all basically look the same body-wise. Different shades of blues and reds and greens and yellows and some vibrant black. A lot of hashtag markings through their eyes and bands through their body.
What's this picture you pulled out?
That's a Nile perch. I wanted to
Oh
show
my gosh,
people
look at that
the
thing.
size of these monsters that are eating the fish in the lake. I mean, look at that fish. That fish could eat that little black guy on the right.
Yeah.
In one bite. I mean, it looks like our Goliath grouper we have down here in Florida.
Yeah, he could eat all the fish in my tank in one swallow.
He could eat both of those guys if he wanted to.
Yeah, these perch as well.
Yeah, same thing. I just found 2 pictures to show the sheer size of these things, and nothing in the lake's got a chance.
Yeah, this is one. Okay, so this is one that I've been looking for a while. I really like this fish, but I can't pronounce the name.
I like the black ones, the really dark fish that don't have much other pigmentation.
Mm-hmm. There it is again. This is really cool.
Trying to pull up my pictures.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way so I can get the IDs on these as well.
There's my pictures.
The file names all have the names of these fish on there.
That's I think the blue oblique ones. That one there. Pretty sure that's the nickname for that one. I don't remember that one. I can't. I'm bad with Tanganyikans. I mean Victorians. I'm sorry. I've kept about 8 or 9 different types, but there's so many of them that look so similar.
I'm trying to pull. I didn't want to open this program because it's a massive program, but I'll try to see if I can find some IDs for this.
That was the Rufo Caudalis, and then that one. I forgot. That's a salmon. That's a hippo salmon.
Yeah.
You can tell by the blue. I mean the green and the red.
Yeah, that's an awesome fish.
They are. That's a flameback. That's a Kenya gold. That's a Lithochromis rufus, one of its species that's you don't see very much in the hobby. That's a fundamental Nairai, Makobe Island. Always love those. That's one of my most favorites. The red on them is insane, especially when there's females. That's a redhead zoo male. That one is a different type. I think that's a Theratanian. I'm bad with names, but they're like you were saying, like the Matumbi hunters. They got more of a long, cylindrical body shape to them.
Hey, you know, one of the things I was reading when we were researching some stuff out for the show, I only remember one of the types, but they classify a shape of the head and the body in two types. One of them they called Python type, and did you run across that at all?
Yeah, there's other types that.
What was it? What was the other body they call it? It might have been tilapia and python as the two versions, but I don't know. I'm just wondering if you ran across that. Yeah, these guys are all fired up. So here's the thing is that I have two obliquidines, and both of those grow really, really fast, and they're very aggressive, extremely aggressive, and they actually are working out pretty well in the Mbuna tank. But I always say that kind of stuff with my fingers crossed. You know, 1 month, one thing's going on. Next week, you know, it's World War III, nuclear war going on. There he is there. Yeah. But they grow fast. I mean, I literally think I can see growth in them just from being gone for a week, going down to Florida. Came back and I was like, wow.
They're getting more popular. I'm seeing them pop up more on the ID requests on the forums.
Yeah.
So they must be having an influx of selling again.
Yeah.
Really beautiful fish.
I have two of these as well in my Haps and Peacock tank with the Matumbi hunters in there. I know there's a certain section of y'all out there rolling your eyes. I do understand about how we do our tanks, but for me, this one works. It works really good. So, what's this one? Can you see it? Or
Yeah, I can see the picture. I think it may be a thick skin, an SP thick skin.
Yeah.
There's a couple different types of the OBs, the Chromogynous. I love those guys. I've been trying to get a colony of them for about a year now. The piebald, basically, with the red and blue fins.
So this one here, is this one a female crib?
That with the red on the belly.
Yeah,
that red on the belly is a male rock crib. They're yellow and red. The females won't have any red on them. From my history, I used to breed them. The females were just yellow with the black stripe, a little more drab. These guys are just like Malawans. Males are it's all a sexually dimorphic grouping of fish. Males have lots of colors. Females don't.
Yeah, and here's a good example. There's a female and a male here.
Yeah, those are the Ostrochromis aludi. They're beautiful fish, like a gold.
It's a pretty fish there too.
They're all pretty. I mean, just
yeah.
Most of these do best in a species-only tank, but I mean, just amazing little, beautiful, stunning little guys. I mean, it's like a little firecracker in there. You can't miss them.
Yeah. So, we've looked at 30, 40 pictures now, and I think a lot of you are seeing that, yeah, there's a trend with that T-bar behind the eye and the color on the fins. Just great how evolution. So, I'd have to use my distance measurer, but how far?
It's still very unique that they all look very similar but have different, feeding requirements. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm doing the distance. So, Malawi is almost 800 kilometers away from Victoria. So, there's a lot of difference in these cichlids, just in how they... What do you call that, Ron? Help me here because I'm stumbling.
Evolution.
Yeah, evolution, exactly.
And this lake is up till about 15,000 years ago. This lake had dried up again, and this lake has hit the reset button, I believe, 3 times. From the research that I've done, that it's dried up. The fish have gone away. It's filled back up. Fish have re-inhabited it, new species all the time, and it's done it 3 times, which is pretty amazing that it keeps bouncing back, and the fish are still as beautiful as they once were.
Yeah.
And I mean, these guys don't get very big, so if you've got a big enough tank, you could put quite a few species together. And there's not very many people that have, like a male only tank of these guys, because usually to get them, you kind of have to get them unsexed, and you end up with females, and they're very, very prolific breeders. Like I said before, you can't stop them. I mean, all you need is one female, and
Yeah.
before you know it, you have a few hundred.
I have 2 of the flameback, and then 1 ruby green, which I love that fish. It's awesome. And at first, the males colored early too on those ruby greens. And there was always one dominant, and then the other one not so much.
I had a breeding colony of Pundamilla nairi, Rudy, Juma Islands. I'm sorry, and I had like 6 really nice males. 2 were showstoppers, but I had to sell the showstoppers to make the other ones color up. But it was just amazing to me that I could have 10 to 12 colored up males in a colony of 50, because the rest were ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful fish.
So that's a close-up of the Nile perch there. And then there's another fish, the tilapia. So here it's saying, I was reading about it, it was saying that the Nile tilapia there's 2 of them that are near extinctions, and they're the most critical. I'm trying to find that again here. Yeah. Singida tilapia and the Victoria tilapia. Both of those are the only native Victorian cichlids, and they're critically endangered. Is how they are. They're probably the ones that taste good. Huh?
That was the first non-native to go into the lake that started to cause some destruction.
Yeah.
Most tilapia are vegetarians. You got to see that this week. I mean, while you were with us on the boat, you got to see tilapia.
Absolutely.
In the wild. I mean,
both the tilapia and the red terror, they're absolutely beautiful fish right out of the water. And the tilapia are relatively big too. The ones the hunters got were huge.
And beautiful fish. In their own rights. We pulled out a few that were red and pink and green, and just same thing with these guys. The tilapia that from the lake is they primarily eat vegetation. So if they're limited on a lake like that, they can eat themselves out of house and home. But the Nile perch took care of that too.
So let's talk about bringing these Victorians into the aquarium. And so there's very similarities to the other African lake fish, as far as the water and what you're going to do, and mouth brooding and all that.
So you would basically treat them like the
haps,
feisty hap, basically. Yeah. Most of these guys are going to be available to you 2 to 4 inches. They're going to see 5 inches, 6 inches. I have seen some of these species in the home aquarium get larger than they would in the wild, like the zebra oblique ones. I've seen them as big as 8 inches.
Yeah, you're going to want to have a 55 at minimum if you want very few of them. But if you want a nice size aquarium with number of fish, you're going to want to consider those 75 and 125.
Absolutely. And you're going to want to crowd them like you would anything else. I mean, for intensive purposes, treat their aggressiveness as mbuna. I mean, treat them like mbuna. They do like places to hide, so you could aquascape like you would for mbuna. And their diet is basically the same as you would feed, peacocks and haps. All the ones that we're basically getting these days the majority of them are farm raised, and they can take the same food as everything else does. You can mix them with any of those species. You can probably even get away with mixing them if you wanted to with South Americans, depending on the size. But just remember that this fish isn't generally going to see more than 5 inches, sometimes 5 in your home aquarium. So
it pretty much has the same aquatic footprint as your Malawi haps. The differences are going to be slight differences in pH and water temperature, but very slight, just 1 or 2, tenth of points on that.
Yeah, half a degree at the most.
Yeah.
But it's you would treat them. You would set up a tank for Mabuna or haps or peacocks. That is fine for Victorians. Absolutely, there's nothing special you need to take into consideration for this species, except for the fact, like I said, remember that they can be scrappy. But beautiful fish bring a whole new level of what do you call it, pop to the tank, where you've got a few fish that really stand out. And preferably try to get them a little smaller than everybody else. So if you're starting up a 3-inch peacock and hap tank, don't go out and get a 3 to 4 inch Victorian. He's going to be tank boss in very short order. I can promise you that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I always wonder, Ron, while we're doing the show, that there are camps of people who do their fish keeping one way, and then there's camps that do it different than that, and then there's the exact opposite of that first one. And so I always wonder, I hate to talk about mixing, because there's a large camp or a large group of fish keepers that are, don't mix lakes, don't mix water differences, don't mix, that kind of thing. But they're really fun. Honestly, I'm not trying to breed them in any possible way, but they add so much color and their aggressiveness is fun to watch, especially between like the two flame backs. They're not bugging any other fish. No other fish are bugging them, but they have their deal. These two guys, right? And it's really cool. And when they do get fired up, they get their colors like boom, like glow, and they get the dark bands get super dark. So they're fun. So I mean, if you have an idea, you want to try it out. I can tell you from my experience that I have some living with peacocks and haps, and I have some Victorians living with my Mbuna.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't poo-poo mixing fish. I just tell people, do some research. Don't. I've got a customer recently that was putting 3-inch peacocks and haps in with a 4-inch red devil. I didn't know they had a red devil until they said my fish keep dying.
Yeah.
I said, well, what's in the tank? Well, they didn't get along with a 4-inch red devil. Go figure.
Yeah.
So you learn the hard way sometimes when you mix fish. So
yeah, you have
research.
Yeah, you have to be willing to have the whole experiment not go right in fish keeping.
That's the way experiments work.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
When you do a science fair project for your kid, you don't actually have to prove a theory. You may get halfway through the science project and realize there was a different outcome, but it's the same thing. This may be a science project that doesn't work out right for you.
Hey, so I sent you those pictures so I just got back from a trip, everyone. I was in Florida. My girlfriend and I took a ride down to Orlando to work with Acrylic Habitats. That's Cheyenne Frosty and Steve Frosty down there. And so I went down to photograph their sumps and their tanks and bird enclosures and all that. And I did it a really cool way. So I'm doing 360 product photography. So it's on a turntable and you take all these shots together. It was really cool. Great time hanging out with them. I really enjoyed, these both Cheyenne and her father. They're just awesome people. Cheyenne's big shout out to her boyfriend Mike. What's up, Mike? And his buddy John that were there helping, and we got a lot going on. So I'm bringing this up because they are one of our sponsors, and we want you to know about them. They make some great aquariums, and even they're seeing them up front, touching them, looking in, and looking at all of the attention to detail. Acrylic Habitats and Steve Frosty, his designs are amazing because of the amount of attention to detail. And you'll see that coming. I'm working on their website, doing the product photography. That's all coming around. They've actually donated a $500 wet dry filter for the show, so one of our lucky viewers will eventually get that. But I sent you some of the pictures. Kind of cool, huh, Ron?
Yeah, it was very cool that acrylic shows up so well on a black background. Did it.
That was a little bit of a, when you go into doing a job and you got to perform, right? And you're holding the camera and you're like, oh, just I hope it, it's like, do I use white or black? I did a ton of tests here in Alabama first, and white's not your best option for acrylic to photograph.
Yeah.
So
black looked really good.
Yeah,
they've got some amazing products, and from one person to another who prides themselves on perfection, you can see their attention to detail and how important it is to them.
Yeah. So big shout out to Mario Vidakovich. He's a part of that whole Acrylic Habitats Windrider Creations. He's a guy that does a lot of the woodworking, does amazing tank stands and canopies and things like that. And sorry I missed you. Mario and I communicated almost every day I was there, and we just didn't have enough time to be able to hit each other up. But anyway, we're going to take a break. I'm going to run a little bit about our sponsors. We want you to call in tonight, don't we, Ron?
Yes, absolutely. I look forward to talking to you guys and answering questions. So don't be shy.
So whenever you need information, if we start talking about stuff and you need information from us, the thing to do is to type in star info. Try it right now. Type it into the chat, and you will a messenger page will open up for Fish Talk Live, and there'll be clicks. There's a one click call in button. So if you're on mobile, you can call in that way. There's also information about Ron's Cichlids and Ron's shop. There's also information about something that we're doing really cool. I should say Ron's doing, but been helping him out a lot on this. And that is the April food promotion. So why don't you tell them what's going on there, Ron?
Thank you, Dave. Month of April, I decided we should do something to give back to you guys. And for this month, there is a sticker inside of certain bags of food at random, and it can be a gift card, $10, $25, $50, or $100. And there's 12 winning stickers in the tank, and those stickers are really nice tank stickers, so you can also stick them on the tank.
I dig mine. They're puffy. So if you guys remember, like in the 70s and 80s, those puffy stickers, they're a puffy sticker. It looks killer on my tank. So the way it works is that all month, if you order food, you have the opportunity to get one of these gift cards. Either $100, $50, like you said, 25s and 10s, and they are already been randomly inserted in a large batch of food. So he's got that going. I think someone's won already, right, Ron?
Yeah, Catlin Douglas won.
Nice, awesome.
He won a $10 gift card, and there's a couple big prizes. All the big prizes are still out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody calls and redeems. On the back of the sticker it says "Contact me." So we're going to keep letting you guys know that check in those bags of food, because you don't know if you're going to get a sticker or not. Somebody.
Slugworth Sizzler, Wonka Scrumdiddlyumptious.
Whichever's the biggest.
Try a Wonka Scrumdiddlyumptious. Now that all the tickets have been found, I don't have to hide them anymore.
I think I'll buy just one more. For my Grandpa Joe.
Sure. Why not try a regular Wonka bar this time?
Fine.
Give me a newspaper. All right. Take it easy. One at a time. Did you hear the news?
That gambler from Paraguay made up a phony ticket.
That means there's one golden ticket still floating around somewhere.
So yeah, that's kind of the whole idea behind the giveaway this month, is this kind of Willy Wonka, find a magic tank sticker in your bag. So go ahead and check that out. Let's look at what we got for Windrider. All right, so this is a picture of the sump. So once the website and the branding, so Acrylic Habitats catches up. We're going to give away this sump, which is a $500 sump. Here's some more. They got a brand new website. They're changing their name, Acrylic Habitat, so it's all new name, all new site. Here's some of the pump filters and aquarium stands. They also do bird aviaries. That was one thing I was massively impressed with, was these bird cages. They're really cool. I'd like to give a shout out to ADA Tank Supply for having a 4 pounds of rock on our wheel today. So we're going to spin the wheel and there's a chance to win some of their rock.
Kevin Shannon here, and I want to talk to you today about my experience using Ron's cichlid food. I've been keeping fish for over 20 years, and I've never had results like the results I get from feeding Ron's food. My fish grow fast, they have great color, and there's a whole lot less fish waste in the tank. And when you're keeping big boys like these, maintenance is important. So do yourself a favor, pick yourself up some Ron's cichlid food today. It comes in all shapes and sizes for any kind of fish that you have. You won't regret it, I guarantee it. Thanks everyone.
Yeah. Super stoked to see people starting to want to go for the Tank Boss. So Tank Boss is this new gamified game show like Jeopardy. 3 people will battle. They'll go through the first round, then 2 people will battle, and then there'll be a champion. And we hope that this is a success and that, you know, we bring all the champions back for like a tournament. So you can type in start Tank Boss and that will get you information. What you do, and I'll show this to you right now. Let me see if I can get there. Give me 1 second. Here it is. Okay, let me push it over. So if you go to roncichlids.com/contestant, or you can type in star Tank Boss, and it's going to take you, and it'll eventually get you to the landing page here. And you'll see there's a sign up form a little bit later down here. What we want you to do is sign up, and then you'll be given a form. There's pre-qualifying questions to get on the show. But all the information will be there. So right now, for over the next couple weeks, if you're really truly interested, which I think you should be, because these are going to be the best prizes of all, with grand prizes and all that. It's kind of a little different than what we're doing on Fish Tank Live. And if you think you can do it, you should just do it. So sign up, put your name in there, and do all that. You don't have to be an expert. This is going to be, it's not super entry level, but it's not super expert either. So we're trying to find that middle ground for people's knowledge and to still make everything fun. So that's what we got. Let me bring that chat mod back and let's look and see if we have any questions. I want to thank Mr. TJ Huffstetler for monitoring our questions on that, and I'm getting information from him that it's been kind of slow, not a lot of questions. So yeah, we do have a caller. Ron, you're not supposed to be yawning on camera, just so you know. Everybody, they'll all click off. Oh, he's gonna fall asleep. Let's see here. No. All right, so let's bring in the caller. I just brought the caller in, and I'm unmuting you now. How's it going, caller? What's your name and where are you calling from?
Calling from Ontario, Canada.
Awesome, Jim.
Good, good. How are you guys doing tonight?
No.
Oh, the weather's getting a lot better anyways, getting rid of that cold stuff and starting to turn warmer.
Yeah,
That's always good.
I think both Ron and I are a bit tired, but never fails. Every Tuesday we're here.
Yeah. I've been watching your show for a while now. I love the show.
Awesome. So, do you have a question or a comment or what's going on?
A couple questions, quick ones, I guess. I've got a whole bunch. I've got a bunch of mixed tanks. Watching your Victoria one tonight there, and I've got some SP44s and some SP Fire Reds growing out through and stuff like that. Trying to get them into doing some breeding, maybe.
Nice.
And and then I also got heard you talking about the Red Devil there too. I've got a Red Devil tank boss with my in a 180 gallon with about 30 peacocks and haps. He likes to be the tank boss in there. He's about 9-10 inches, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Big fish.
Glad it's working out.
So what kind of Victorians you got?
The Victorians, SP44s.
Nice.
And I've got 3 males trying to find a female, a little bit hard for the female. And then I've got a group of 6, the Fire Red. SP Fire Red. I think that's what I looked them up as. It was hard to find an actual name for them other than just the SP Fire Red. I don't know if there is another name for them or not, but
sometimes they nickname them the Fire Red Ugandas.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Fire Red Ugandas. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, they're
cool.
Beautiful little species. Just underrated. You know, people don't know about them very much, and beautiful fish.
Awesome.
Yeah. Is there any special breeding tricks with those and that? Ugandans bred as soon as I got them. I didn't have much trouble with them, but the SP44, when I get the female, I just wonder if there's any tricks with that or not.
Not really. I mean, you just realistically need females. They find a way. Even I've got a couple in a 75-gallon tank with some sunshine peacocks growing out, and they've got no problem finding each other and mating. So it doesn't matter if you've got 1 female or 100. But the more females, the better your chances are.
The better the chances. Yeah.
I mean, I had a breeding colony for probably 6 or 7 months of Nairais, and they bred every day, but there was 30, 40 females in there. But it's difficult stripping 1.5, 2-inch fish too. So
yes, yeah. Do you find that's better stripping? Because I've just left everything in, like they were all species specific tanks, so I haven't got into the stripping. I've just let them go, and it is what it is, kind of thing. And
yeah,
like I said, I didn't have too bad a luck with the Ugandans, but I don't know what I'm looking at when I get into the SP44s.
They're all basically going to be the same. They just need females for them. And as breeders who want lots of babies, in my case,
stripping is better.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, that's sooner I can get her back to eating, get her healthy to breed again, so she doesn't have to hold on to them for an extra week. Because at 2 weeks, they've got way too many babies in their mouth already.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good to know. One other thing I was wondering, with all your guys' offers, because like I said, I've been watching your shows for quite a while now. Do you guys ship to Canada for any of the winnings or anything like that? Because I've been trying in on your spin the wheel and stuff like that, but I wasn't sure if any of your products or anything like that were shippable to Canada. I realize fish are probably not a good option for shipping to Canada, but
shipping fish to Canada is an option. It's just you have import fees, and I don't know what those are when the time comes.
Here's the long and short of it, just because I know the back end what's going on, is that some of the prizes are no problem. Some are just a little bit more. So I would imagine, excuse me, Yeah, some of them that we can just drop ship right to you. Ron Cichlid food is not an option for Canada. That for some reason you can't seem to get a pound of food up to Canada for less than $40, which is pretty heavy.
Well, Canada, it's like max of it's like overseas, like 3 pounds. 15 ounces is fine, but 3 pounds, 16 ounces, which is 4 pounds, the price goes through the roof. So anybody from Canada that wants dry goods, I can, so if I could fit it in the bag and it's under 4 pounds, it's the same price as if it was 1 pound.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I will definitely keep all that in mind. Thanks, guys. I appreciate talking to you and stuff like that. It was great just to get in, call in, and get right in like that. Thanks a lot.
It was awesome you called, Jim. Have a great day. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Reach out. Hey, do us a favor. Reach out. Tim.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, reach out to Ron's and just say, hey, what's up? We got something for you that we're going to send your way for calling in, and we appreciate you, okay?
Oh, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I will do that.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a good one. Okay. Bye.
I got to make sure when I remove the caller that I'm not removing Ron. I think I did that episode 5. So any more callers, any more questions? It doesn't look like it's getting up there. I do have a notice here that Ella was trying to call in. I flashed the number again, so hopefully that's working for you now. Hey, caller, you're on Fish Talk Live. Where are you from and what's your name?
What's up? Ryan from Portsmouth, Ohio.
Who?
Ryan from Portsmouth, Ohio. Ryan Gregory.
Ryan. How are you?
Welcome.
Pretty good. How about you guys?
We're still alive.
Well, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
We're wore out from a long weekend, so there's been a few yawns and a few pauses, and we had a great weekend.
The low energy show.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a high energy show. This is the low energy show.
Well, you got to get in where you fit in, baby.
That's right. That's right. So, hey, you got a question for Ron or a comment?
Oh, I just, I'd ordered some of Ron's fish food there. I don't know. I think it was a couple months ago. And I was just saying that I'm going to call in and tell you how much they loved it.
Awesome.
They've been tearing it up. Yeah. Yep, they've been tearing it up. And all about the acrylic tanks. I just got my first acrylic tank, and I couldn't believe the difference in the way they hold the temperatures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Versus a glass tank. It's unreal.
Very good point. Exactly. It way different than a glass tank. They insulate better, hot and cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I just got it, put the heater in it there last night, and it was like the watts. It took a lot different, a lot lower watts to heat the tank up, and it kept temperature for like, I don't know. It was probably 4 or 5 hours before it ever dropped below the setting. I was just impressed with it.
Yeah.
No, that's the insulating properties of acrylic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just want to say hey, and said the Ron Cichlid food's great stuff, man. Our fish love it.
I appreciate that, Ryan.
We totally appreciate you
buddy.
calling in, Ryan, and call in anytime you want. It's good to hear from you. Thanks for the call in.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Later, brother.
Bye.
What's up, Ron?
What's up?
So you never saw the member video of the week. I did pull that out. I had asked Kevin Campbell last week to send us a video of what he's got going on, and he sent us this video.
Very nice. I like that dark background. I've been tinkering with that lately. It just really makes the fish pop. But Kevin's a master at this. He knows how to keep the water clean. He knows how to take good pictures.
Yeah. So I picked this video because when I looked at it, I'm not saying that these fish came from Ron, but this is a very good representation of the types of fish that Ron sells. You got your tetrastigmas and redfin boreali and
star sapphires, red empresses, deep waters, OBs.
Yeah, so Ron has these all the time. So If you're ever looking for these types of fish, certainly hit Ron up for that. Appreciate you, Kevin Campbell, for putting that video together. It's stunning. They just also the activity level is just nice. They're just all chilling. Did you say you had some more questions that you wanted to do? Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's just a couple that have been popping up, but they've been rolling through fast.
Something about the best filter for a tank. That's kind of like asking what the best tires are. There are really good tires. There are very expensive tires, and then there are tires that are effective for a good price in there. So I think if you ask that question 10 times, you may get 5 or 6 different answers. Ron's got his favorites. What's your favorite canisters, Ron, for that 120 size?
My favorite canister, I just got 2 more of them this last week. Is I'm a big fan of Marineland, Marineland Sun, but the Marineland C503 or the Magnaflows have a lot of media.
I'm a big fan of Fluval. And not the newer Fluvals, but then again, I don't have a lot of knowledge with it. What I've read. But the Fluval 406, 306, 206, 305, 405, I have a bunch of those. And I also have a bunch of Suns as well, and they're very, very effective. The 704Bs, they have built-in UV. So hopefully that answers your question out there. What other questions we got here?
Larry Deskins was asking earlier whether or not a fish, which is the Astotilapia calipera, was Victorian or Malawian, and they are one of those fish from Malawi that look like they're Victorian. They're from Chismulu Island,
so they're Malawans or
as
Victorians?
Far as I know, yes.
Yeah. Awesome. So we can go ahead and wrap this up. There's a couple things we can do. Tell us about the raffle that you got going on right now, Ron.
So we got a raffle going on the main page, Ron Cichlids page. We are raffling an Eheim canister filter, $220 state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line Pro 4 600 Eheim. Tickets are $10 a piece.
12 spots left, so hurry up. Hopefully we'll be raffling this off by Friday. Of course, you can purchase multiple tickets if you'd like. So, buy a couple tickets, maybe you get a $225 filter. Eheims are great. They hold so much media, it's unreal. That's really the truth. They hold so much media.
They've been around forever, and they've never wavered in quality. The quality has always been there. Great filter.
All right. Let's go ahead and start giving some stuff away. I'd like to tell you all that we have a chatbot user giveaway. I'm going to go ahead and do that really fast. So the way that works is we like to reward people for engaging with the show, engaging with the pages, engaging with the social media. And one of the things you can do is use the chatbot. When you use the chatbot, that signs you up kind of for that. And on every week, I think I put out 1 message a week. So it's not like we're bugging you all the time. And in that message today, it gave up for that. So let me just go ahead and go. Here we go. So the Woo Picker, and let me pull up here. I usually have to re-log in. I'm going to refresh posts. Sign in. I'm going to do this really, really fast. Or as fast as it will let me. All right, post, and we're going to go ahead and go off of today's Fish Talk Live post, which is our chat right now, and we're going to pick a winner. I usually click pick winner once. That clears it through, so we're going to select these 2, and then we're going to pick a winner. This is not the winner. This is clearing the software through for any sort of randomness to it. So there's that. So here's the hashtag that was given away, or that was sent out earlier. And that was hashtag Lake Victoria. So this is our first spinner. Here is Phil Weissing.
Nice. Congratulations, Phil.
Yeah, congratulations, Phil. We're going to go ahead and spin the wheel. And so if you guys haven't seen this before, what we do is we would put prizes on the wheel. It's kind of like Wheel of Fortune. We're trying to find ways to gamify, keep it fun, also on how we get those contestants. So if you guys didn't kind of get that, what it is those people all have starred info or somehow or another engaged with the chat bot, our info bot. And then this week we sent them a special hashtag to do that. So congratulations, Phil. Let's go ahead and spin for Phil. You put the spin to win wheel on here. And as we do every week, we usually try to pick a color, and then we pick a position to start that color, like as if it was a clock. So 12 at the top, 6 at the bottom. Waiting to hear that. There's Phil. Okay, so here we go, Phil. Good luck on this. What could you win? There's a ton of stuff on here that you could win.
The new F-150.
No, we took the F-150 off of there. Here's some ideas of what's on there. That was I don't know why those pictures were in there. Let's see here. Do it again. So these are some of the prizes that we've done. It's not allowing me to go through. There's safe on there. We try to find some things that will help you in your aquarium hobby. There's some breeder boxes and things like that. So there's a ton of great prizes on there, including our buddies ADA Tank Supply, Mr. James Smith, and Jeffrey Kirk in Missouri. So we thank you for offering that up. Let's go ahead and bring back the wheel. And here we go. Pick a color, Ron.
Red, 2 o'clock.
So the 2 o'clock red up here. And what position?
9 o'clock.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to rotate that color, the aquarium brush right there. And it's at 9 o'clock. So good luck, Phil. It's for all the money.
All
the money. Now we want you to win some fish. Come on,
he's got an order leaving tomorrow morning.
Speaking of ADA Tank Supply, congratulations. You won 4 pound of Oko Rock from ADA Tank Supply. So reach out to Ron through Ron Cichlids' page. Send a message to Ron Cichlids' page. Ron will have you connected with James and Jeff over at ADA Tank Supply. So thank you so much.
Congrats. All look good in the tank.
All right, yeah. So let's see, what else have we got going on here? In case you guys have noticed, the fish of the week, we've been doing a few adjustments, so there hasn't been one in the last couple of weeks. And that is because it's going to start doing a little bit more auctions, or excuse me, not auctions, raffles. And so right now we're doing the filter, and I think the next one's going to be like a box of fish or something like that. So that's kind of why you don't see that there. Let's pull us back up, and let's go to right here. All right. So this is our main spin to win wheel. You can check out the wheel at ronciclids.com/wheel. That allows you to see how that works. Basically, the rules are pretty simple in the giveaways, that if you win during that month, you're ineligible until the following month. You need to be present in the chat in order to do that. So our hashtag... let me see here. What hashtag you want to do on this one? Let's do hashtag Vic, V-I-C. Sorry, I know I asked and then I answered, but I just saw that last week we had hashtag Tang. So this week we're going to do hashtag Vic. I'm going to play this song. It's going to come up. And while this song is playing, go ahead and put into the chat hashtag Vic. It's all lowercase. Actually, I don't think it really matters the case, but just use lowercase. Hashtag VIC. There you go, Ron. You got that. Yeah. It's good to see you, Matt. Yeah. Kimberly Bosworth. Hello, hello, hello.
I feel lucky I'm going to win.
You might. You could.
By my luck, I'll win a free fish.
Yeah. You can ship it to yourself. Pull him out of his tank, put him in oxygen. Have FedEx come pick them up, put them back in the tank the next day. So I want to do that other thing we talked about as far as winter. Maybe we can do it for some food or something. That double parlay, as far as like for them to guess the amount of fish and the color of the fish that I got from you. Obviously, everybody. Okay. I went and saw Ron. I got some fish. So we'll do that. We'll do that right after this. We'll
talk a little bit about our weekend.
Yeah, hashtag Vic, everybody. Hashtag Vic. You're seeing it. That's super simple. Spelled VIC. Hashtag Vic. All right. All right, so that should be about good enough. So let's go ahead, and what we do is we pull up this the picker again, and I can go ahead and refresh this. I'm gonna wait just a minute or two, and let's go here. I'm always, you know what makes me laugh, Ron, is that the different hashtags people just throw in there just for the heck of it. I love there's one that says Lake Victory. I think that's great.
Fish sticks.
Get those guys a Red Bull. I drank some coffee.
I don't know if I can do Red Bull.
Dave's another man, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna pick it right now. Here's the next winner that's gonna spin, and it's that's not right. Hold on just 1 second. See, if the reason it's not right is you see right here, and I didn't set it right. So sorry. We hope you do win. So right here, and this is Vic, VICE, just like that. Okay, here's our winner. Sorry, 88 hours aren't going to be able to do that.
Dag nabbit. Lake Victoria's Secret.
Lake Victoria's Secret, yeah. All right, we're on our what week? Second week. Chris Johnson didn't win last week, did he?
No.
Okay. Congratulations, Chris Johnson.
Congrats, Chris.
Yeah, you're the winner on this one. Winner, chicken dinner. So let me. Don't run off now, y'all. Don't run off. We're not completely done. The funnest one's going to be next. Be real simple. So spin the win. Let's see. Let's look at this. There's spin the win. I'll pick the color. I think I'm going to pick yellow. And I'm going to pick the yellow that is at 9 o'clock. And I'm going to move that all the way around to 3 o'clock. So there it is. And as you can see, that yellow one is there. Good luck. Hey, if you're there, we need to hear from you. If not, this is there he is. he's like I am here. Yep. Okay, cool. No problem.
I don't think anybody's gonna make that mistake after what 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, come on, big prize. All right, so that's a Sun power filter. Those
nice.
It's a nice power filter. Create the waves and motions and movement in your tank. So congratulations on that. So I would like to do it just for like a quick. Maybe a ½ pound of food, Ron. Can we do that?
Absolutely.
All right. So we're going to do like a ½ pound of food of your choice. And here's the thing. The reason I wanted to do it is because there are still several tank stickers out there. So if you win this food, you have an opportunity to win a $100 gift card. So this is kind of cool. All right. So let me bring us back. So we're talking. There we are. All right. I don't know what's going on. There it goes. All right. So I went and saw my buddy Ron, and of course I got some fish, right? Well, here's the thing. I want the next winner is going to be, you guess the number of fish I got and the color of fish I got. I only got one kind of fish, and I got a certain amount. And so here's the thing. The color is either going to be, all the standard colors, and then the number is going to be between 3 and 12. So right now, hashtag the number and the color. So it's going to be something like 4 green or 7 blue or whatever. So go ahead and do that right now. Hashtag that number and the color. The number's got to be between 3 and 12. And the color is any of the standard colors. Purple, orange, blue, green, black, yellow, green, whatever.
White.
So, white, yeah. So you got to hashtag it.
Hey, Dave Riley.
Yeah, we're going to kick him off. Fish nipples.
Fish nipples.
Yeah, whatever, Dave. Yeah, that's right. Kaylee's got it here, not like number 9, blue. All one word now. It's the number and the color. Numbers between 3 and 12. And the color. I can't see how many people are on, so there's only still 60 people on. Yeah. So let me go. Yeah.
One person's got it right so far.
Well, you don't want to say that. Why you do that, Ron?
It doesn't matter. No one's gonna read back through and start doing analytics.
Oh, you'd be surprised what goes on. You'd be surprised what hoops people will jump through. Yeah, let me put some music on. I'll let you guys catch up and get that. Let's see here. So what you're all doing is you're putting in just like that, like Kim Bosworth said 3 blue. So you can enter as many times as you want. That's why I made the color and the number, because there's what is that? I don't know. 3 to 12 is 9, and then I think there's like 8 colors. So there's like 72 different ways you can do it. Yeah. So just enter. And then I'll pick that hashtag, right? And we'll spin for it. Well, we'll give you a half pound of food is basically how that works. So, yeah, really, Mark? Come on. I'm sorry, Mark. I didn't order 20 fish. Somewhere between 3 and 12. I should have said 3 and 15 because that's your large box, right? But anyway, it's between 3 and 12. I didn't get a full box. All right, you let me know when you think you should pick this, Ron. Okay,
whenever you want.
Oh, I want to let these people know. There's 30 seconds left.
I need some more guesses. Hurry up.
Yeah. Hey, if only one person guesses it, they're the winner. All right. Here we go. Let me come back to... all right. So here's this. And let me refresh so I can get the newest hashtags. All right. So I went down to see Ron, and what I wanted was 5 yellow labs. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, why would you come all the way down to Florida, right? And get yellow labs. Well, I'm kind of, my fish situation is just right, and sometimes you don't want to disrupt that, right? Just bringing fish for no reason. So
I drove all the way to Florida to get special yellow labs.
Yeah, yeah. I got $15 worth of fish and left.
$200 in fuel.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so that winner is yellow lab, 5 yellow. I gotta hurry.
Now everybody's typing that into the chat box
because they're crazy. That's fine though. We're ahead of the game because we're in a different time zone. We live in the future. Yeah. Okay, so here's the real deal. Actually, what I really got was 8. I'm just kidding. So
live chickens.
Yeah, live chickens. Hey, this sure was fun, but the hashtag software is not spitting it out. So
Yeah, like I said, I only saw one person that got it right.
Yeah. All right, so we'll have to go back through and we'll give it to the first 5 yellow. Whoever said 5 yellow first will get it.
I know who it was.
Who was it?
It was Edward Figaro.
Edward Cigaro. So we'll verify that it was Edward Cigaro, and we'll go back through and we'll look at the whoever said 5 yellow first, 1.5 pound. So this is one of those that the software is not keeping up, so we'll have to get back to you on that. We'll let you know in the clubhouse. Super awesome. I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anything. I do know that this is happening this weekend.
Yep. Thursday, I'm going to South Carolina for a few days. Got some things I need to take care of, and I will be around 1:30. So I have some stops to make in Cocoa Beach and Jacksonville and Brunswick. If anybody needs any fish, reach out to me. I provide a service where I meet you on the side of the road and hand deliver fish, save you the shipping costs.
Yeah, he's got some great yellow labs right now.
No, I don't. They're all gone.
Oh, did you give them all to me? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. That's why I got 5 when I asked for 6. That's right. So I got all your yellow labs. That's so cool.
I got a lot recently, and they went quick. It's such a beautiful fish. I mean, you can put it in any tank you want, and that yellow really, really jumps out.
Yeah, I'm not sure because I haven't looked at them yet. They're still in that QT, but is one of them maybe half lab? I mean, half white lab. He looks like he's white with yellow on top. I was like,
when they're young, sometimes they'll pale out.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and end up the show. We're right at about our time. I wanted to let you guys know about the chatbot, one of the features that's on there that I changed today, and that is you can directly access the GoFundMe page for Ken Wynn. Ken's one of the fellow fish keepers on social media who has recently passed away in a very heroic act. So one click, it doesn't. If everybody that watches this week gave $10 to the GoFundMe, you would raise roughly about $30,000. If everybody gave $10, we're getting about 3,000 views. So that's, something to think about there.
Yeah, he was an awesome fish keeper, and people are coming together on GoFundMe to kind of help his family. It's a horrific accident that happened, and he'll be remembered.
Yeah, so go ahead and type in star info. Look towards the bottom, towards the charities that we'd like to support. That's a shout out for Ohio Fish Rescue. I was going to say recovery for all your alcoholic fish. But Ohio Fish Rescue with Big Rich, and you can help him out. There's also a link there to the ADA tank. I am so tired. ACA and New England Cichlid Association. New England Cichlid Association's hosting the ACA conference this year. You can get all that information from there. So I had a blast with you, Ron, this weekend. It was great to see you. Thank you very much. A killer host. Super nice guy. Awesome family. Great dad. Super impressed with your son's skills on the bow fishing. That was amazing. Amazing. So
I was glad to have you guys, and like I said, I just wanted to relax this weekend. So Dave came down, and him and Randy, and we spent some time on the boat. We had an amazing birthday dinner. We were there for hours, and just hung out in the yard. I live on a lake, and talked about life and relaxed and enjoyed our life. So it was awesome having you. Katie's still talking about you guys, and you guys are like family. I haven't personally met you, but you were like family when you walked in, and you're definitely family now that you've left.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Next week we are going to talk about New England cichlids, and we're gonna change up the approach a little bit. There's a ton of New World cichlids, excuse me. Yeah. There's a ton of different fish fish there. I mean, there are Centrals and Americans. And so we're going to do a quick overview. We're going to show you some of the coolest of those fish. We're going to try to find some video on that. Hey, if you have video or if you keep New World Cichlids, check out the New World Cichlids page. It's called the New World Cichlid Hangout. Hangout. So come check that out and post your videos. So next week's Member of the Week video could be yours, and we'd love to do that. I'm going to let you... Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to let you sign off, Ron, and then we're out.
All right. Once again, thanks, everybody. I know it's a little more of a laid-back show, but just gives you some thought about Victorians, and if you decide that you want to start keeping them, just an overview. Like I said, I'll be leaving on Thursday to head north. If you guys need anything, let me know by tomorrow, please. And check out the raffle. And don't forget, you have a chance of winning a gift card in the food. And love all you guys. Thank you for all your support. It's very humbling. I think about you a lot. I appreciate it.
Get out there, change that water, do them water changes, keep them fish healthy. We'll see you next week. All right, take care.
Later.
Bye.